Hey guys, welcome to a new video. I'm Stephanie West. I'm an LPC here in the state of Michigan, and today I want to share with you, this is something that I have to work with clients quite often on, and this runs especially in the realm of perfectionism, and now we've done several videos about different ways to understand perfectionism. But what I want to do is give it just a touch of a reframe / some psychoeducation on why perfectionism, not only is it nefarious, but it's just such an impractical place to camp out. Now, of course, I'm saying that as someone who has, I want to say I'm a recovered perfectionist, but at the very least, I'm a perfectionist in recovery. Up on the board here, there's a clear distinction that I want to show what's going on when we demand excellence of ourselves. Now, excellence is actually a degree less than perfection, and we can still demand excellence in certain areas, and I'm going to kind of illustrate that with this example. So up on the board here, I was working with a client this last week, and I said, give me some specific words that you wish exemplified you. You wish people looked at you and said, these things are true. And so he said, I want to be seen as capable, I want to be seen as smart, I want to be seen as competent. And I said, okay, those are great objectives. You want people to see you a particular way. However, you're running with the narrative that people see you differently. How do you assume people see you? Or how do you think about yourself? And he said, well, it's the very opposite. I assume that I'm incapable. I assume that I'm dumb. I assume that I'm incompetent. And so we kind of talked through what does he mean by that. And then I said, I want to ask you, do you see this as an either or situation? So I put the word or up on the board here and I said, is that how you're operating? Either I'm capable or incapable. Either I'm competent or incompetent. And he's like, yeah, I want to be competent, but I'm just categorically incompetent. So I said, here's the rub though. You're not either competent or incompetent rather. This is an and situation. I just threw my marker, pardon me. If we take the word and we take each of these categories and we use the word and to join them, things shift actually in a pretty profound way. So it's not I'm one or the other, it's I'm both. In some areas, I am very capable because I've spent time there. Maybe I have some natural skills and talents there. Maybe I've worked really hard in that area, so I am capable. And there's going to be some things I've not yet explored, some things that I haven't tried yet, some things where I haven't practiced a lot. And so I probably feel incapable. And the reality is I might actually be less skilled in that area because I haven't used time and intention yet in that area. So in some areas, I am very smart. And my friends call me book smart because there are some street smarts that I just don't possess. So in those areas, I might be considered somewhat dumb, somewhat uneducated. That would have to be accurate because I can't be smart in all domains. That doesn't work. But I can be smart in certain areas where I've applied time, intentionality, effort, where I have some natural skills. And in some, I'm underskilled and I might feel kind of dumb when I show up in those spaces. But we all have that. It's not an either or situation. It's a both situation. I am both smart and dumb depending on the context. And that last one, competent, there are some places where I do show up and I feel very competent, and competent often equals confidence. I have that in many spaces. And then there's areas where I show up and I'm like, ooh, not so skilled here, not feeling all that competent, maybe feeling a little less confidence in those areas. We really can push back against perfectionism when we realize that life is nuance. It is not an either or situation. We're looking at a both and situation. You are both capable in some areas and less capable or maybe even incapable in other areas. You are both smart in some areas and less than skilled, we might even say dumb, in other areas. Welcome to being human. That's what it looks like. There's no way we can be really good at all things. That doesn't make sense. We don't put time, effort, and intentionality in all areas. Why would we expect to have rampant skills there? So I want you to consider that if you're still trying to push back against perfectionism, and for some of us, it will be a lifelong quest, right? And that's okay. If you're trying to push back against it, I want you to use the word and. When your brain says, oh, you're being so incompetent right now, and there's other areas where I'm very competent, so I'll have to be okay with that. And your brain says, oh, you're so dumb right now. And in some other areas, I'm actually quite smart, so I'm gonna have to learn to be okay with that. So I want to kind of gift you that invitation to use and use that power to reframe some of the ways you might talk to yourself, talk about yourself. It's a really cool thing to start shifting from an either or perspective into an and.